The first thing we can start with, hashtag free Malachi, hashtag free Malaysia, hashtag she's being suppressed.
I am being suppressed and I didn't even do anything wrong.
That is really the worst part, that you did nothing wrong.
Like, bruh, if they would have got me for something I really did, I would have been like, okay,
this
fair.
Is fair.
But and I would have just took the suspension. But I'm like, I gotta appeal this because all I did was describe Sasha Obama as a Negro when I was talking about how people should mind their business about her, like get out of her business because she's a black person. She could say nigga if she want to say it. And then this is mainly for our podcast people.
Yes, it is.
And then they haven't reviewed my appeal. I didn't avoid bookings on Friday. They locked me up on Friday on Twitter.
Thursday? Or Thursday night?
No, it was Friday.
Oh, okay.
It was Friday day. I tweeted it Thursday. Mm-hmm. They locked me up Friday day. And Twitter still has not. They haven't reviewed my appeal. I'm like, bro, I did my time. I was good, innocent. Good behavior. I should go up in front of the Twitter appeal board. Like, they had me.
She in jail with no bail.
Yeah, they really had me on no bail. They want me to admit to something I didn't do wrong. I didn't do nothing wrong. I'm not gonna admit to shit because I didn't do nothing wrong. Locked up. I had a hard day in court. Shit stressed me out. Won't give me bail, kid. Get me out.
I feel that.
Used to living luxurious. I don't want to live here.
I'm gonna put some money on your on your books or whatever.
The phones is broke. The food is garbage. A lot of niggas is living with these circumstances. Anyway, what's up, guys? If you don't know where you are by now, I guess I might as well tell you. Welcome to Insert Name Here, brought to you in full Technicolor and living sound with the dulcet tones of the great Alejandra Tejeda.
That's me. Woo!
And me, the bad one, as my art father calls me, as our dear mentor calls me, the raspy, sometimes rude, but sincerity is my credentials, as Malcolm X said, and that's me, Malachi Unique. And Twitter got me locked up. Let me free me.
Forget free Meek. It's free Mal.
Free Malachi. Yeah, exactly. We thought you'd be sending me things on Twitter. I can't even look at them. It's bull. I just been tweeting from Obvious Nonsense stuff. So we're getting engagements. Follow Obvious. I'm not gonna say it.
We can put it in the chat.
Anyway,
if you don't follow Obvious Nonsense, except it's nonsense with the E.
So here's the thing about tonight. The thing about tonight is that usually, right, we have a whole agenda full of shit. Like, I can show y'all examples. Like, every night we put a date, put the agenda, right, put an article so y'all can be prepared, so we can, have information.
We're professionals.
And then tonight, we was like, what's in the news?
What's in the news besides the most, like...
Besides obviously, the fucking election, which is just... a thing. Ooh. So y'all president, man. Y'all current president, that's a guy. That's a character.
That's your man's?
Your man's. Oh, so I guess so actually I do have one bit of I kind of have a bit of local news. So as we all know, if you're from Boston, the gang unit is trash. The gang
database. If you're from other cities with gang units,
the gang database is trash. They put you in the gang database for like anything. You could just be walking somewhere. They're like gang database. And yeah, so like obviously I linked an article. So they want to probe the city's gang database because they want to see what the fuck is on there. Because like I think they did an investigation back in like 2016 or something like that, didn't they? Mm-hmm. And they found out that like a bunch of, obviously it was mostly people of color. They found out a bunch of like whatever, like, people were on there for like weird things and like,
especially a little like teenage Black and like Latinos were just on there for no good reason.
Me and Alejandro like to joke that we are probably on the gang database because of our, our jobs and our things that people we've been around and stuff.
Sorry if you're hearing my what is it, libations?
Yeah.
Is that the word? I am drinking some Moscato. It is election wine.
Election wine.
Woo! Nate's joining. Free the dogs.
Oh, Nate, my guy, Nate.
Yes, but back to this point about the Boston City Councilors wanting this probe. They always do it. Like I think Andrea Campbell's on the front of it.
Yeah. Well, they showed her. She was the front of the article at least. She's
like front of the article. She running for mayor. It's not surprising. We're gonna see a bunch of these like probes and like people wanting more information. It's a good and like an unnecessary thing because we know a lot of these things exist.
Right.
But a lot of the times these political offices like the mayor's office or the governor or the senators don't acknowledge they exist until you have like actual data showing that these like gang units and these systems are racist. So cool, I guess.
Speaking of the governor, he's a fucking bitch. He's a pussy. He's a punk. He's a coward. Fucking blanking his ballot instead of, bro, just vote for Donald Trump if you want to vote for Donald Trump, my guy. Just vote for Donald Trump because you're really a punk, my guy. You're a Republican. You run around making all this money for the RNC, and you want to say this and that, and sometimes come out against Trump and sometimes not, or whatever. So be honest, bro. Why are you being a punk? He's such a coward. Then he wanted to tweet about, oh, it's so important to vote. You didn't vote, sir. You didn't vote. What are you talking about? It's not that important because you didn't vote. You, the governor of Massachusetts, Chuckles, Dwayne Baker, the governor of Massachusetts.
It's just hilarious. Like, sir, like, he knew he should have voted. Like, no one cares about you anymore. You're in your second term. It's about to end in like 0.2 seconds. Like,
get out of here, bro.
Like, just you knew who you had to vote for, and you decided to just be a bitch. You said, because either way, he's pissing off his party for not voting for Trump.
Facts.
And he's pissing off everybody else off for like not voting for the obvious person. So it doesn't make sense. Charlie Baker, you're a hoe.
Charlie Baker's corny. Like,
we never have anything to say about that man. You've been horrible. As the COVID rates went up, you were about the worst person ever because you were pretty much negligent in like the way you were answering things. And now that the COVID rate is like mad high again, you're like, oh yeah, we're gonna do stuff, except we're not gonna shut down anything. We're not gonna do anything to actually make any changes. So love to see it / hate to see it if you don't recognize sarcasm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he sucks. that's the tea.
And then, along with sucky Massachusetts politicians, I was gonna call them plebeians. Also that, Marty Walsh said he voted the old-fashioned way, which means he went to the ballot box on election day because he doesn't work at City Hall where they had early voting all week. And it was like a big deal. Like he had like press out in front of him.
Like bro, you're just voting, my guy.
Did you call?
Like, does he not vote every year?
He was like, he had his staff person call. Yeah, Marty is he's gonna vote at like 9 a.m. Do you want to go meet him outside? No, like
does he not vote every year? He's the like what? Yo, what? Like, come on, man. He can make a whole production out of that, but election day is still not a holiday, so people could actually vote. Fuck out of here, man. I don't care, bro.
I really don't care.
Yo, what's up, Keys?
I'm just laughing at the fact he said old-fashioned because old-fashioned to me means old-fashioned racism.
Keys, I listen to that coochie talk. Pretty fun. I like that.
Listen to coochie talk. Let me try and pull up the freaking link.
Mm-hmm.
We have artist friends.
We have we want all the artist friends. Not all of them. Most of the good ones. We want all the good artist friends. Boston artists, y'all like to be separated sometimes. Only certain folks, be linking. We're in that group. But then, we also have some feelers out. Ooh, dang. Feelers out in other places. Too bad I had this in my hand. If I wouldn't have, it would have been just fine. Feelers out in other places,
Yeah.
So we're a multimedia organization, so it's we like to link up with all
be out here
like
we be knowing everybody and everything. No, we don't. We just be knowing a lot of people accidentally.
People be knowing us. we already friends. We already. I mean, we friends. I mean, like. I wouldn't say like I'm not to say we're not friends.
Yes,
we know each other, and I think that I feel like if I hit him up or if he hit me up, we would respond. So yeah, I thought about it, but I'm not on my own Twitter, so I didn't want to hit him up from Obvious Nonsense Twitter. So maybe when Twitter gets me out fucking jail, I'll talk to him. Yeah, because that's my guy, bro. I really like his music.
I guess it's screamy and jumpy. That. They had an event. That's very not specific.
Yeah.
But there were a bunch of artists that had an event the 31st on Halloween. That was really dope. Nate performed and a bunch of other people. It was too cold for me in Malaysia to go outside, so we weren't outside. But we were there in like heart and presence and spirit. And like
we're there
in power and in unity, in solidarity, all those very organizing catchwords. But
yes.
They're having really cool events lately, like socially distanced, everybody wearing masks, basically. Like it's really cool collection of young people and young artists just getting together and having fun. I don't know how we've forgotten to talk about that for the past 2 times. But yeah, it's cool.
It's actually been really great. To be honest,
it's a good way for everybody to kind of get outside, even though it's
be socially distanced and listen to good music, local music.
Like almost artists. Everybody that performed at the one we went to, the first one, first morning show. Well, it might have not been the first one, but the first one we went to, it was really good, and like everybody was a great performer. They had like artists selling their own things.
Oh, yep. Ja'Cory. What's Ja'Cory's like? Rap name is it Ja'Cory?
Facts. What is it?
It's not Ja'Cory. It's something else, but I can't remember what it is.
Nate said it was lit.
Ooh, driving show. That sounds good to me.
Nate put the details in the comments so that I can share it on Facebook too. But
Nubian Square.
Oh, Nubian Square.
It'll be in Nubian Square. Lit.
That's dope. So Nubian Scare.
Nubian Scare. I'm making a weird Halloween movie called Nubian Scare. It's gonna be
this Friday.
It's a
driving
porn
show.
Halloween movie. Nubian Scare, bro.
Yeah, on it. She's on it,
bro. Got to keep it low key on the live, but we're gonna talk about it. No, I'm kidding. But yeah. So yeah, pop out for that. But like other than that, unless folks have like other local news they want us to talk about, we're gonna just jump into election.
Oh wait! It's election bullshit. But ranked choice voting, y'all bum hoes, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but I mean it in a negative way, that didn't vote for ranked choice voting are hoes.
You hoes. Why did you vote for ranked choice voting? There's no good reason to vote no on that.
If you Googled it, even in English and Spanish, you could have found a sufficient answer of like what it was about.
We talked about it on at least 2 episodes. I think 3.
Maybe more.
We talked about it quite a bit, and if you watch us, you should have voted for ranked choice voting.
I feel as though now I understand that ballot questions can be quite wordy and confusing, but if you read the words ranked choice voting,
yes,
you would think that would be like, oh, I rank them in the order I like,
yes,
and I vote.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
I guess a lot of people didn't really.
They didn't feel that.
They didn't get it, but also
that didn't
Malaysia,
connect with
we're
them.
talking about it, that the ranked choice voting kind of like campaign and committee is often like doesn't really speak to like the communities of color. Like you don't like the people that call you, the people that are from those organizations they're usually white people, and they don't connect to us. They never connected to get the word out to our communities that ranked choice voting was the thing. So that's an important thing to point out. And especially like I knew ranked choice voting like a lot in Boston, but did other places know it as much? Yeah, did other places have the awareness?
And then like I said to Alejandra earlier, like the folks who are working on that campaign, like I'm not fully sure, but like, you know, probably could have been more inclusive. Almost everything could stand to be more inclusive racially, especially. So, well, you know.
And then Domingos de Rosa, who's running for at-large, in case you did not know, said come out Saturday and join him at Faneuil Hall at 1 to 3:30 as they advocate to change Faneuil Hall's name. The flyer is really dope because it's like what is it? It's like the trial of Peter. Let me try and find it. It's on his Facebook. It's really dope and it's cool. There's been a large push before Corona and now back again to change the name of Faneuil Hall. We talked about it a bit here, but I'll explain it again because people don't always listen to every episode. Ranked choice voting, not ranked choice voting. What? Faneuil Hall. My brain is everywhere. I didn't sleep last night. Like most people, I did not sleep. But my sleep was just because I couldn't sleep. Not because I cared, really.
Yeah, I wasn't worried.
But Faneuil Hall, Peter Hall, gave the hall to the city of Boston a long time ago. It's not that long, but it's a long time ago.
Peter Faneuil?
Peter Faneuil, yeah, Peter. I'm struggling, guys. I'm struggling.
Okay, so Peter Faneuil gave, the market to the city a long time ago, but what they used to do in Faneuil Hall, it was like a slave trading area, and Peter Faneuil was a very, prolific slave trader.
It's the worst
trader
part
of
is
enslaved
that
people.
He just inherited it from his uncle. Like, it wasn't even his daddy's business. It was his uncle that gave him the business.
He said, "Hey, you want to traffic humans? I got the connect on human trafficking, my guy. Yo, it's mad easy, bro. You just go downtown. There's a bunch of cows and shit because the commons, they used to just let shit roam. But we go downtown. You just saw some niggas. How about that?"
Oh yeah. So the flyer says the prosecution of Peter Faneuil for crimes of white supremacy, which is dope. Let me see if I can show it to people.
True.
It's a little blurry, but it looks cool if you can see it a little bit.
I will link the post.
Oh, yeah. It might. Yeah, I can share it. I think.
Yeah. Put a
copy link. But that's good.
Yes, Nate. Peter Faneuil Hall.
I'm struggling, guys. Please. Leave me.
I hate it, man. I hate it.
Brittany alone. Anywho, so that's something else that's really big now. We need to change that name. We need more Black-owned businesses and more
facts.
People of color-owned businesses in Faneuil Hall. Like, there's no reason why you walk in there and it's just a bunch of white people, a bunch of white tourists. Like, huh? And you never feel comfortable in there. Like, they used to take us BPS students that are mainly Black and Latino kids up into this hall to do what? Like, get Ben and Jerry's?
Everything
like the place expensive. Where they sold us. You
gotta have, your parents gotta have money that week to get you a good lunch in Faneuil Hall. You know how expensive all that stuff is? It's not even that good, bro.
It's not. I think I got food there once and I said, why would
I remember getting it I did the Freedom Trail at my school 3 times. My God, we don't need to do the Freedom Trail that much. It doesn't change, to be honest, and it's just hot outside. But every time we did it, I think we went to we get food or whatever, go through. And the only other person I think who used to bring me there was my aunt, but she just liked to go places. So she just liked to go places.
It doesn't make sense to me how many we take kids there. I get the Freedom Trail and it's Essence.
Black History. The Black History Trail was cooler because it had houses to stop at. And people and then they showed you a bunch of some things you didn't want to see, but then they showed you some good things, and then they played some Negro, but not Negro spirituals, but some of the Escape songs, Follow the Drinking Gourd and shit.
That's cool.
With the stars or whatever. The constellations or whatever.
Nate said the clam chowder in their smack though, not gonna lie.
That's what I was about to say. I think the clam chowder is the only thing. And there used to be a cookie place or something, which was good. But anyway, that's not important. Just change the damn name.
Just change the name.
Saturday at 1 p.m.?
Yeah, 1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m.
Lit.
Pop out.
Tap in.
Okay. Now, are you guys ready to rumble? This is why we need a soundboard. 2021. I was gonna say 2020. 2021. We're getting a soundboard.
2021. Get insert name here. Obvious Nonsense. Gang Squad.
Getting a soundboard. We're gonna be ridiculous. You're gonna be mad when you hear random gunshots.
We're gonna be Jamaican DJs out here.
Okay. Now that we've built you up for this election talk, are you guys ready?
Like, my thing is like, what is there to say? Like, what is there to say? Joe Biden, he's like I've repeatedly said this over this year, is that like it's perfect because Donald Trump is the only person that could fuck up an election for himself, and Joe Biden is the only person that could lose to him. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing. Like, not that Joe Biden's gonna lose him. I don't think he is, but I do think that if we wanted things to be quote unquote normal, he needed to win by a lot more than he's gonna win by, because them stand back and stand by people, they standing, they there, like, so
they ready.
I'm right now. Is it still at 264? I mean, not 264. What is it at?
You know what I forgot to call? No, I didn't. It's 264 for Joe Biden electoral votes and 214 for I was gonna say for Joe Biden. What's really the difference? For Donald Trump. So there are a few states still going, and we know that Donald Trump's gonna sue for, I think, Minnesota and Wisconsin.
Michigan.
Michigan, yes, Michigan and Wisconsin. So we know he's gonna sue over some random stuff. So prepare for that.
It's just gonna take a long time, bro. We just
think he's ending this week.
We're just gonna be talking about it,
especially if he loses. If he wins, I think he'll be more he'll be like, okay, whatever. But if it comes out losing at the end of this week, he's gonna go full force to kill it.
Yeah, and he's gonna like. I don't think there's a limit to what Donald Trump will try to win this election. So,
Eric, I'll never stop singing "It's So Cold in the D." You can get it out of my cold, dead hands. But very proud of my people from Detroit.
How the fuck do you
for coming out strong?
Yeah, they came out.
They came out heavy. They said we don't get this motherfucker out.
Yes,
and they did what they needed to do. Like, there are a bunch of, I guess that's what we can highlight, is that there are a bunch of communities that really popped out this election.
The Latino community in Arizona,
young people.
A lot of folks have been. But that should have been the beginning of the conversation. Let's talk about who is already being blamed.
No, I was trying to be positive. Let's go for it.
We got to talk about the fact that they're already blaming both Black men and Latinos for if Donald not for him winning, because he hasn't won. If he wins, they're blaming them for if he wins, and it's like they're
also the 50,000 people that voted for Kanye. They are also to blame.
It's their fault. Anybody who voted for Howie Hawkins,
those 50,000 people were obviously all in one state to make a big difference.
It was 60,000. Don't put respect on his name.
It was 50 when I checked. Good job for getting 60.
What was I gonna say?
For people that probably honestly weren't gonna vote for anybody.
Yeah, they weren't gonna vote for anybody, probably. But like anyone who voted for Howie Hawkins, it's your fault. Progressives, it's your fault. Just not because you didn't vote for Joe Biden, just because they don't like you. So it's your fault. Like they like actively like say it's like,
you're a Republican from Florida that has probably always voted as a Republican and a Latino.
Your fault. Like, bro, I'm like we know white Cubans are Republicans. That's like a thing. We all know that. We got Marco Rubio, we got Teddy, Theodore, Baby Cruz, Raphael,
the Zodiac Killer.
Yes, the Zodiac Killer, Raphael. Allegedly. He joked about it, so I could joke about it too. Donald Trump called his wife ugly and he didn't do shit. Donald Trump called his dad the killer of JFK and he didn't do shit. But I mean, like, we know that a lot of white Cubans, especially in Miami, vote Republican. They always did. That's just
what they are.
And then the other thing is that Latinos, that means nothing.
Facts.
Are they white or are they not white?
Are they white? Are they Black? Are they indigenous? We're talking about three different groups of people.
Like, of course, white people vote for Donald Trump. They're white people. It's like I said it. I've said it multiple times today. Also, like, until we until we start really addressing how deeply embedded white supremacy is into like everything we do, into white people, into us, into our government, into our systems, into our media, everything. It's deeply embedded. Until we address how deeply embedded white supremacy is and restructure, maybe dismantle like these things, we're never going to get any change. There's never going to be any change because the system is structured to do that. And white people will like a lot of them will fall in line, my guy. Like I'm like, I don't understand why we having conversations about 12% of motherfuckers or 30% of motherfuckers when 55% of white women voted for Donald Trump. When fucking how many probably like 70% of white men. How many white men? I don't know. I haven't seen.
I don't check.
But it's probably like it's probably higher than 55, I'll say. But it's, you know, like white people gonna white people. I don't know. Like,
I just want to complain. That's my issue. Is that you want to place blame on people. When you want to place blame, you do it on the people that actually had a role in this. I don't know. Place blame on the people in his campaign, the people that didn't do the work to get these.
Him, shit. He didn't like that man went to Pennsylvania. I know he went to Pennsylvania at least once, but like he
61 according to that one article.
61. I knew it was more than 55.
58 according to this. So like high 50s to 60 is the percentage of white men that voted for Donald Trump. Like that's what it is, man. Mm-hmm. Like white people overwhelmingly voting for this man, and you want to talk about this subset of Latinos that have always been Republicans voting for him. Like this conversation is irrelevant. Like you're talking about people. This is the issue with Democrats, is that they always want to get voters that would never vote for you.
Why don't you ever, Democrats never cater to their base. Republicans only cater to their base. Democrats never, ever cater to their base.
Were you banking on people that have never voted for a Republican in their life to suddenly vote for one this one time?
Yeah, to vote for it. Like, bro, like the Democrats were banking on never Trump Republicans and the Lincoln Project and all that stuff and Anna Navarro. They were banking on that, and it's goofy. Like, what's wrong with you?
Anna Navarro's a really funny person to me.
She's strange
because I don't feel like she has the Latino
sway. Like she thinks she does. She thinks she's gangster,
and I'm like, I've never maybe you're on TV like TV for us, but like, are you? That's what I gotta say. Are you? Oh, but shout out to the people in Arizona. A bunch of the Latinos in that state went strong and heavy for Biden. Like we said, it's 264 to 214 or something.
Yeah, 214.
So we're still waiting on.
So results. like Biden is winning this. And Trump is gonna. This is the thing. It's not. It was never really about whether Biden would win, because like he was gonna win. It's about like whether he's gonna be the president. Like that's what it's about. Like for some reason, folks got really stopped on the voting part of it. Like, but that's not the scary part, my guy. Like I know they was doing weird things with like the actual ballots, but that's still not the scary part. Like the part that comes like after that is the scary part. Because if they're willing to, they did it publicly, like shamelessly. They didn't give a fuck why they did it. And like, I mean, he's been escalating over these 4 years, and folks are just like they got used to it. They got comfortable. Like I'm like, the fact that nobody was surprised when the president of the United States said he won an election when there was like only like however many percentage of votes and millions more to count, said he won.
Insanity.
Like, and everybody's just like, well, you know, it's Donald Trump. But like that's not normal. Like the man, he's the most powerful person in the world, to be honest.
Like,
so like we kind of should take him seriously because he does what he says. Like, and he has a lot of people around him who are nuts. Like Stephen Miller, that's like a virulent white suburban. That guy is nuts. He's nuts. Like.
Facts. What you want?
I don't know. Nothing to say really. It's like, bruh. Also, Biden he really should have been in like swing states. He didn't have to be doing like rallies like Donald Trump. Like, no, you don't have to bring millions of people and leave them out to fucking starve and freeze in the cold. But like, he could have been doing socially distanced rallies. He could have been moving around because like people were not energized. Like, this is my thing. Like, the Democrats don't ever like campaign. Like, they don't ever try. Like, they're just like, we're not Republican. So obviously if you're not a Republican, you're going to vote for us. And we don't have to do anything for you. We don't have to say anything to you. You're just going to do it. And if you don't, we're going to lecture you and browbeat you and, you know, talk about how you can't be upset and how you da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, no, listen, controversial opinion on here. I don't care if you didn't vote. You can be upset. You can be upset at the results of the election if you didn't vote. Because like, bruh, like an undocumented person I know, like, works in politics, does a lot of, you know, so like, you know, more invested in politics than anybody. That person cannot vote. So do they not get to be upset? Like, just because they didn't vote?
One of the women that's been texting me for the past 2 days about like her husband and her daughter getting to vote, but she can't vote yet because she's only a resident. Like, does she not get an opinion about the country she's hoping to become a citizen of? Like, there are so many people felons.
What about felons? People in jail right now, unless they're in like Maine or that other state.
What's his name? Clint Smith, I think is his name. He's a writer, and he writes a lot about like incarcerated people. He wrote a great article on like why we should let incarcerated people vote, because
they're citizens.
You're still people. Like, you didn't go to jail and suddenly become a subhuman. Like, that's not what happened. You're supposed to be rehabbing. You're supposed to be becoming a better person when you come out.
A productive member of society.
Like, a productive member goes and votes. Exactly. Why can't I vote?
Why can't? That should be becoming part of my routine. That should be something that, you know, you should be also encouraging.
There were a bunch of states that had like same-day registration. Massachusetts, get on same-day registration. There's no point. You can't. First of all, we should have automatic registration. But if we're not going to finna do that, every state needs to do same-day registration.
And Massachusetts is right on this issue, but we need to have also open primaries. Mm-hmm. You should be able to pick which party you want to vote for.
Just put everything on my damn ballot.
If you're an independent, you should be able to pick.
I don't understand. Like, just put everything on the damn ballot and just go with it. Or like Malaysia said, just give me the option instead of forcing me to be like, oh, I'm a Democrat, I have to get the Democrat ballot. It's stupid. It's stupid, and it's very restrictive to like our process, because like I'm registered as a Democrat, but I don't necessarily want to be. I'm not like, hooray, I'm registered as a Democrat. I'm registered.
I'm registered as a Democrat, but I'm not a fucking Democrat. I am, but I'm not. The difference in policy between me and Nancy Pelosi, we're not the same party, like, you know, but like, this is the only option is to be part of this party. Like,
facts. It's that or be with a bunch of
nuts,
double racists.
Like, they don't want me there.
It's like bingo for racists. Like, who
extra
will give you the extra like bingo, like all the bingo.
It's like, man, like, I think the Democrats don't do shit. Like, the reason Trump is this bad is because the Democrats cannot mount.
Democrats.
I said Democrats, which I actually should start calling them.
Democrats.
The Democrats cannot mount a resistance to fucking save their lives. Like, bruh, like, the man broke laws in front of everybody's face for 4 years straight. And they're like, we impeached him once and didn't even look into the real crime, the financial crimes, the crime we could have proven, the crime we all know happened. We didn't look into that. None of our business, not our own. Like, even though the president shouldn't be doing high crimes or misdemeanors while he's in office, like,
or his whole administration
committing crimes,
like your whole administration, and you're squeaky clean.
And somehow all his children can be part of the administration. Like, how does this not sound like a dictatorship? Do you guys like when you guys talk about third world countries or whatever, like, does that not sound like that? You know, but whatever. It's no biggie. It's no big deal. They're not worried, I guess.
Nothing. I did have a good conversation today with Nick Davis about kind of the two Americas and just how vastly different we are from Middle America, and how it still doesn't make sense for us to be sometimes a whole country anymore. It doesn't make sense when my life experience will be nothing compared to a person in the Midwest life experience. That they're still waiting to get FiOS, and it probably won't even come for like another 10 years. While me, I'm like, FiOS been here. FiOS almost around the whole city. Like, we're living two completely like experiences. So it's no wonder why they're voting for Republicans. Like, they're less educated, they're poorer, they're like legitimately everything is less. And it's not like to say that's a bad thing, because less education is not bad. It's just their life's experiences and like their geography, their climate is so different, and their economy, like, we don't have to think about farming here, but that's all they think about.
Thanks. Us chilling on the coasts.
We just like both coasts just chilling. We're straight. And like Middle America's concerns are just vastly different. It is interesting though, they didn't talk about farmers a lot in this election.
They didn't.
It's quite interesting because farmers are like, that's the number one thing.
It's probably partially because Donald Trump already fucked the farmers so much. Like all between his sanctions and the fact that he didn't give people proper, like, what's it called, like entitlements, those types of things, like, and grants and the stuff that they used to do.
Yes, thank you, Nate. Less formal education. See, I could bash people from the Middle America. Instead, I'm trying to find better language. Damn me. I hate to see it.
I mean, this election is just like, I feel like if you didn't expect this to go this way, then you weren't.
And they were warning people. So, like, if you weren't listening, like, if you expected the election to end last night, then you have been living under a cave. Like, whether it's social media, in person, newspapers, online, TV. Everybody expected TV, yes, radio. Everybody's expected this election to at least last until Friday.
Like everybody was warning everybody. Like they was warning people, like it's gonna blah blah blah. It's because all the mail-in ballots, blah 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 blah. And it's like, but the problem is that like it's still Joe Biden did a really bad job. Even if he wins. Like when he wins, he did a really fucking terrible job. And the shit that's fucking me up about it is that Hillary Clinton did the same shit and lost, and Joe Biden's gonna win by the skin of his teeth, and the Democrats are gonna be like, "See, it works." And it's like, no, it doesn't. They have nothing to offer besides we're not as bad as those people. And I'm like, but you don't fight for anything. You don't stop those people from doing bad things. Like just today, what's his name? Something Reed. He used to be Senate Majority Leader, Democratic Senate Majority Leader, a while ago, and he was talking today about how he's so disappointed in Lindsey Graham and how like he thought Lindsey Graham would like basically hold to his morals and care for the country. I'm so disappointed in my Republican colleagues, and I'm sad to say I can't support Lindsey Graham in his re-election campaign. I'm like, my nigga, you're a Democrat. You are that is the opposition party. That's their opposition. They're oppositional. They don't agree. They're separate. You're not supposed to be like, oh no, I love him. That's like, bro, you're supposed to support Democrats if you're a Democrat. Like, and that's the crazy thing about it, because they'll be mad at us for not supporting certain people, but they themselves won't support. Like, they themselves will support moderate Republicans definitely over progressives.
Bitch McConnell's race, which they
poured McConnell
millions of dollars into this Democrat homegirl. Let's keep it a buck, is not a real Democrat.
No,
is very sympathetic to Trump supporters and Trumpers, and like, I think,
and that's not the way
for Trump. Something like she either voted for Trump or some of that sort, where she was closely aligned to the point where I was like, are you even a Democrat? Like,
and that's not the way to go.
And they poured millions of dollars for her to lose this race. Just want you to know, like, millions of dollars for her to take a big L.
That is not the way to win. Offering the same thing. Why? Listen, please explain. Please, why would I vote for you if you're just the same as the other person I've been voting for decades at this point? Why? Like, for what reason would I vote for some woman who's offering me nothing? Why? Why? For what? If they, if they would have brought somebody who's like, I can, it's fucking Kentucky, is it not? They're like, I can make sure. What the hell? What happened? Rude.
Sorry, temporary,
Technical difficulties as usual.
It was such a weird one though. I thought that all the lights were going out.
Bitch, this is brand new. Don't tell me it's broke.
Facts. Don't tell me it's broke.
Let me plug it in. Let me plug it into the computer.
This would be what would happen during our election discussion. It's all right. Let me try and plug it into this computer.
Yeah,
ooh, it's hot.
Yeah, it is hot.
Let it cool down. Y'all can look at us in the dark for a couple minutes. That's fine. But yeah, just a bunch of weirdness. I feel like
if they would have put a progressive challenger,
put a challenger that makes sense. Make language make sense to people.
And not even, and it's not even like progressive so much as somebody who wants to do something. Had they talked to those people and been like, I will help you get a $15 minimum wage. Bro, you know how many more votes that person would have gotten? I will make sure you do have health. I will make sure
lack
this
of
and this
voter
and this.
engagement that's like crazy.
I'm like, because the thing is, with all the things that were voted on, people across the country prove that they want change things. They want progressive things. They want
progressive policies, even if they don't want the progressive word in
front of it. Our political, like, it's so. Our political, what I can't remember what that shit is called, but ours is so fucking far right that we think what we think of as the middle is fucking far right. It's like, it's right wing, conservative, authoritarian. It's not like, my guy Joe Biden is not. He's not a leftist.
The people that didn't like. Back to Latinos that didn't vote for Joe Biden because he's a socialist. I would like to introduce you to socialism and how I feel as though if you were affected by socialism in, like, let's see, Cuba, Venezuela, you should know what socialism looks like and what their policies look like. And Joe Biden, none of his policies are socialist policies.
But you know what the fun part is? Like, I think they're using that as an excuse, and I don't think that's what it is. I think it's that they didn't want to vote for Joe Biden.
You're just racist. Like,
I think it's that they didn't want to vote for Joe Biden. Like, because my thing about it too is that, like, a lot of those people, a lot of those demographics in 2008, they voted for Obama. So it's not that they can't get votes. It's that when you run on, I won't change shit, nobody wants to fucking vote for you. Obama ran on change and hope, and he made people believe that something was going to be different and better after years of fucking war and terror, and feeling like, having the worst president ever at the time, at the helm. Like, he made people feel like it was going to be better. Joe Biden said, I won't change anything for real. Like, I just go back to normal. Like, that's cool. It's fine. Like, some people want to go back to normal, but, like, some people are like, my nigga, normal was bad for us though. Like, my guy, it was bad for us. Normal was not good for me. Like, I struggled during normal. I don't want to go back to normal. I want to be better than normal. And who doesn't want to be better? Like, what any person who identifies as a Democrat in theory wants to make the country a better place by changing things. Like, Republicans want to make it a better place by keeping things the same. Democrats want to make it a better place by changing things. So why isn't it always the strategy to be like, this is what we're gonna do?
I don't know. People have this huge issue where they think elections are not won by talking to people. Like, they have no problem going to random town halls, but popping out in front of people's houses like they used to do as much, they don't do. Like, you need to be at everybody's door like, hi, yes, I am, if you didn't know, my name is Joe Biden. This is what I'm running on. What concerns do you have? Like, we're not addressing people's concerns on both sides, and that's why people don't give a fuck. A lot of people, though, are racist on the right. I'll give you that. We're going to go with anything that speaks to their racism. But there are a lot of people that, like, I would say, like, a lot of people in middle America that just have no understanding of these things because no one's ever talked to them about it. No one's ever come to them, like Malaysia said, and be like, this is how I'm going to get you a $15 minimum wage. No one's ever explained to them that these things can be possible without it being scary.
And that's why a lot of those people supported Bernie Sanders. Like, that's why, like, you know, back in 2016, especially, not 100% sure about now, but back in 2016, a lot of those people supported Bernie Sanders. And then people are like, all these Bernie Sanders supporters voted for Trump. False. That's not even true. The majority of us did not. But also, some of these people, they were not Democrats. They just supported him. They supported the candidate. This is like, and what's that?
We're back, baby.
Lit. And
we're back on our color. It looks weird because my eyes adjusted to the dark, but.
And man, when we're in the dark, no wonder people think I'm dying. I look terrible in that dark light. Y'all, everybody keeps saying, "Are you okay?" I'm like, damn, I guess I'm ugly, huh? Like, why y'all keep saying that?
Your hair is taking all of your like. Facial,
why y'all keep saying I'm like, I know I'm skinnier, but like in light skin. But I'm like, this is the thing. Like, y'all didn't know. Like, I just be on vacation a lot, so I be tanning. Like, this
traveling
is my
3 times a year. Like, we getting tan, and then we come.
I don't know.
We like
we did more than 3 times last year. We like 6 times. Shit, like we went to quite a few places last year. It was gonna be the same thing. 2020 was about to be the same way until, but you know,
it is what it is.
Like they don't like.
You
people
pull in these people, and you get confused when you don't have them. Either you were never gonna have them, or you just do a shitty job at pulling them in. Like
people like want things. And for some reason, instead of you know, like I said, doing the thing that will actually win these people over, they rather just say, I'm gonna be like a crappy Republican. Like, but you're not. You're supposed to be the other part, the different party, the opposition party. Like, and it's messed up because they're like, well, if we do this, we won't win. But y'all don't win anyway. Y'all don't win anyway.
And lost not a bunch, but lost a few seats in the House of Reps. Like, took this election was like an L, and I still think
they should have got more senators.
Like, taught Democrat, like DNC, the party itself, anything. They still haven't learned that their ways are not working. That this will just be anti-Trump is not a solution. I think the perfect example to that for me is when Ice Cube went on this whole thing, like to the general public, a black man like going, oh, maybe Trump is a solution for black people sounds crazy. But when somebody's like bringing forward a solution or a plan, that's appealing to people. Like, when you don't appeal to people at all and you piss them off so much, like Democrats have, people will look at other solutions, even if it's worse, as better.
Yeah. So Victoria sent the Fox News post about gun laws, and so it was like, do you want gun laws to be more restricted, less restricted, or keep as is? So 55% said more restricted, 12% said less restricted, and 33% said keep as is. And I want to say something very interesting about Fox polls is that they always ask questions in like the worst ways too.
Yes, they
do. But those people like progressive policies. They don't know that they like progressive policies, but they want progressive policies. Obamacare. They like Obamacare. They're like, oh yeah. Well, I don't have Obamacare. I have the ACA.
I have Affordable Care.
I have Affordable Care Act. It's like my
people
name.
Like, that's Obamacare. Yeah. No, it's not. It's separate. It's different.
No, it's not. Yeah.
There's just so much rhetoric that
they want the legalization of marijuana. They want a lot of Republicans, a good deal of Republicans want universal health care. Like, people want progressive policies. And if Democrats would offer progressive policies, people would fucking vote for them. But since they don't, since they want to be punks and cowards,
they
whatever,
just want to show off to the lobbyists and all of the people with money. They don't really care about like showing us policies that matter to us, like showing people ideas. Another great example. See, this election has brought forward a lot of great examples that were continued from Hillary Clinton's election. Kamala, and all those other candidates during the primaries that were talking about they weren't going to make a Black agenda, that they didn't want to make a Black plan. That was a mistake. They saw a need for it, and instead of like making it a thing, bringing forward groups of people and having discussions, they shut it down and let Trump make this platinum plan. Even though Biden and Kamala have a plan for Black people, they've never like talked about it really. It's not advertised. It wasn't a thing where like, this is our plan for Black people, this is our plan for the Black community, while Trump was like, look at this, I'll parade around some Black people and show you that I have a plan for you. It's fumbling an easy bag. Like, if you're wondering why 12% of Black men might have voted for Trump, here's why. Also, the fact that Black people can vote for whoever the fuck they want to. Like, assuming they're all going to vote for Trump is not Trump. For Biden is stupid. Like,
Black people aren't a monolith. Like, I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry we're not just a faceless, fucking mindless drones and we don't all have the same fucking opinions and ideas. I'm sorry.
And shit, if you live in a state like fucking Massachusetts, I don't give a shit if you voted for Kanye or if you voted for a third party. If you didn't vote for president at all, to be quite honest, if you're a Black man, like, the fuck was your vote gonna do? To be honest, I'm glad you voted, but
or in a place, you know, they're very, anyway.
Like, there are so many like things and intricacies along the pathway that disengage voters, suppress voters, make voters not want to fuck with you. That it's just like, you get what you get. Like
if you offer people something, they'll vote for you. Like, that's just it. Like, and people have proved that. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has proven that. Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib and Ayanna Pressley have proven that. Jamal Bowman and Cori Bush and all those people, they have proven that if you offer people something, if you're not a freaking crony taking money from terrible people who are harming, you know, the people you're supposed to represent, then people will vote for you. Like, it's not a mystery. It's not like it's not rocket science. It's not very hard. Like, you know,
they act like this stuff is like, you need to like have studied it for 10 million years to understand it. Watch some patterns for a few years. It's pretty open and shut. Like, me and Malaysia probably could run a better presidential campaign than a lot of other people. Actually, scratch that. Probably not better, because we probably piss off a lot of people. But it seems as though people love.
They love
honesty.
If I had control of a white man, I'm in there. I could win. I could win like a bitch. It'd be crazy. I could prop him up. I could be like his Dick Cheney.
Be the vice president. That'd be funny. Victoria left a comment about there's another tweet she sent us about they asked about racism in the United States, Roe v. Wade, citizenship pathway for immigrants, healthcare, and all of the people showed strong support for the progressive option,
they
which
did.
shows that it's appealing.
So for how serious a problem is racism in U.S. society? 49% of people said very. 29% of people said somewhat. 16% of people said not too, and 7% said not at all. Supreme Court on action on Roe v. Wade. 71% said leave as is, and 29% said overturn it. What should happen to illegal immigrants in the U.S.? 72% said pathway to citizenship. 28% said deportation. Changing to a government-run healthcare plan. 39% said strongly favor. 33% said somewhat favor. 14% said somewhat opposed. 15% said strongly opposed. And this is a Fox News poll. So imagine polling everybody. I think the last time I saw it, it was like 72% of people. And it's like the fact, like, if that many people in a country this huge want something, there's literally no reason that our politicians shouldn't do it, except for the fact that America's nuts. We're nuts. Like, nothing makes sense. It's not meant to benefit the people. So nothing works for us.
It ends up being foolish. This election has been a wild run. It's been almost 2 years of campaigning at this point. Like, from our perspective, also the fact that like 2.5 years ago, everybody started kind of like talking and putting their names in. Like, this has been a long election. Pretty much as soon as Donald Trump got elected, we knew people that were like gonna run right away. Bernie, we knew was gonna run right away, even if he didn't say it immediately. Elizabeth Warren was gonna run right away, even though she didn't say it immediately. Like this has been a long time coming. Like we're waiting for this thing to just be over. Like we're tired. Like I don't think as a country we've ever been this tired, except like maybe during all the wars we've been in that we've tried to get out of. Oh, side note, but not a side note. A lot of people that I've seen on Twitter, which is not a great like, it doesn't showcase like a good collection of things all the time. A good collection of like people, good
mindset,
or mindset. They said that we haven't had war with Trump, and I was like,
I mean, we have perpetual war in the Middle East. What do you mean? Like, and also the CIA literally did a coup in Bolivia.
Be like, it must be nice to live in that world. That was scary.
That's quite terrifying. Why'd she do that?
The boobies.
Why'd she do that? Anyway,
Megan Thee Stallion distracting. Exactly. We're both bad doobies.
I mean, I was looking for like stuff. I was looking at at first I was looking at a thread about people being upset. Michael Harriot, one of the writers for the is he the editor? Writer for the Root. He was talking about it's interesting that people are upset at non-white voters because that's how you become white in America. Like that, you know, he was like, you know, talking about how for like a large swath of American history, the Irish, the whitest people ever, were not considered white, and all these things about, you know, like if you're an indigenous person on one side of the Rio Grande and on the other side you're Hispanic. What is Hispanic? It's nothing. But which we said repeatedly, like that doesn't mean anything. Like it really doesn't mean anything. Like all Latino is not a race.
I think this was one of the perfect examples because like Florida, like we keep venturing on and off. Florida, Puerto Ricans largely voted in favor of Biden. I think it was like 60 something or like 70 something in favor of Biden, and the other chunk in favor of Trump. And then for Cubans, it was pretty much the reverse. And then so people are like, don't bring Puerto Ricans into this conversation. Don't bring us into this conversation because we're not really white like them. We don't have these experiences like them. And the same goes with like Central Americans and Latin Americans and the Caribbean people that like exist in our country. You can't lump them together and be like, these are Hispanic, Latinos. Like your experiences will be the same. Like the Puerto Ricans and Dominicans, and like I won't say Cubans because they're not. We don't really live together.
And Haitians,
like the experiences we have will be very different to the experiences of our like Mexican, Nicaraguan, Honduras, like those people's life experiences.
And then that would be super different from Argentinians, Colombians, like those kinds of life experience. That's like totally different. Like Chileans,
and you want us to all be Latino and like Latinidad. Like sure, you can claim that there is this one like we're all in this together thing, but that's not what happens at the end of the day. At the end of the day, white Latinos are put in the forefront, and they're white, and they'll vote with whiteness because they want to be white, even though white people might not see them as white. Because, you know, it's always funny to me for the Cubans because Trump supporters will tell them to go back to their own country, especially if they speak Spanish.
But my thing about it is like Miami Cubans, like Miami Cubans are very specific.
In Miami-Dade County and most of Miami voted blue, in fact. So never speak upon Miami.
Don't come for them.
Speak upon the other places in Florida that are actually the conservative
Don't come
sinkholes. Don't come for our peoples.
But like the Cubans, like the Cubans in like those areas are not like bruh. Like some Cubans are black and some are not black. Like some Cubans are Marco Rubio and some Cubans are Laz Alonso.
Do you guys like an explanation on race? Racism in the transatlantic slave trade.
Like
okay, so in Cuba. If you didn't know, Cuba had the like highest number of slaves pretty much like in the transatlantic slave trade, they'd arrive in Cuba first usually. So the most number of slaves would go to Cuba and they'd get like either filtered out to the other Caribbean countries or they'd stay in Cuba working on like sugarcane and tobacco and other weird stuff. That's what happened. So Cuba has like a mixed population of a bunch of black people that are descendants of slaves, a bunch of mixed race people that are descendants of, you guessed it, a white man or a white woman, and a black person. Like,
and then a bunch of whites. Indigenous people got wiped out, so there's not really many Tainos.
Like, I don't. I mean, like, you guys are pulling from straws to find an excuse to blame people for things
like then they were never voting for him, so that's the thing. Like, that's just it.
In conclusion, I hope that Democrats have learned that people that were never going to vote for you are never going to vote for you, and that's just life. Like, the hot girl that's not going to go out with you is not going to go out with you.
Stop trying to pander to Republicans and pander to your base for once in our lives. Like, because, Obvious Nonsense tweeted it today. It's inshallah, this is the last time we're voting for somebody for the greater good. Just because, that person's so bad, we have to vote for this person. Fuck that. That's no more. Because we don't have time for that. Like, in terms of, like, a climate crisis, in terms of people starving and dying in a pandemic, in terms of housing and healthcare and all that stuff, we don't have time to keep doing this. Like, we don't. So that's it, man. That's all.
Breaking news. Trump is trying to incite violence.
Oh, good.
I'll read this email to you that was sent out this afternoon. It goes, the title is, I warned the nation. Joe. Coincidentally, this person that received this email's name is Joe. Joe, the Democrats will try to steal this election. It was in all caps. I'm sorry, I had to scream.
That's how Trump tweets.
Just like I predicted from the start, mail-in ballots are leading to chaos like you've never seen before, like you've never seen, plain and simple. The radical left is going to do whatever it takes to try and rip a Trump-Pence victory away from you, and that's why I'm coming to you now. I need your help to ensure that we have the resources to protect the results. We can't allow the left-wing mob to undermine our election. I'm asking my fiercest and most loyal defenders like you to fight back.
So when they say radical left, are they talking about Joe Biden? Because that's like he's not even radical middle. He's not even radical middle, my guy. He's like peak centrist.
I feel like sending Trump the political.
Yes. That's what I couldn't remember. Chart. Yeah, I couldn't remember the name of the thing.
Like, this is where Biden is. This is where you are.
Y'all not so far, and this is where I am. I'm over here.
I'm over off the chart.
I'm over there. Because I'm not even a communist, so
that's true.
So
but
I'm
also
all
like, I'm not no fucking socialist. I'm not no fucking communist.
Fuck that.
I'm just a black person.
I'm not an anarchist either.
That my people deserve the right to live freely. That we deserve education. That we deserve healthcare. That we deserve the right to just live.
And that's the most radical of all.
That's the most
in a white supremacist
thing.
Society.
The most radical thing is that we want to just live. Like, y'all are sick. Y'all, not you, because if you're probably watching this, you're probably not sick. But unless you are sick, and if you're sick, get well.
Get well.
Get well. Scam well.
Scam well, get well.
But it's something different thing. I had a final thing, I guess, is about Oregon and them decriminalizing drugs. Yeah. A bunch of people are like, I'm about to fly out to Oregon and smoke weed, and be like,
to smoke weed? Just go to New Jersey, my nigga, or in Massachusetts.
Go out, just go buy some and go outside your house. Likely is police not gonna really.
They're not gonna do anything. Really but if they try to go to Oregon, they could just, if you're in New York, you just drive over the bridge, bro. But drive over the highway.
You scared me. If you're gonna why would you fly to Oregon to do drugs? Not like drugs, like why would you fly to Oregon to smoke weed? The appeal of Oregon now is if you're like an actual like drug addict.
If like you use like drugs,
you want to go to Oregon to do drugs all the time. But you can just do drugs all the time on Mass apps.
So what Charlie know about it?
Nothing.
Clearly not.
I think his wife knows more.
And that I guess the end of the show.
Yeah, I guess.
Chuckles is a punk. I want to end with that.
Chuckles is a punk. Marty's a punk. Who else is a punk?
Donald Trump, Joe Biden, all of them.
Pence is a punk.
Pence is you don't want me to get on the Pence conversation.
And shout out to my Black and Afro Latinos that voted.
Facts.
Shout out to my young people. Shout out to my Gen Z and late millennials, late millennials.
The younger side of millennials. The younger millennials. The zillennials, like us.
Yes, the zillennials, like under 25 but over 18 crowd that voted overwhelmingly. I think it was 90+%.
Yeah, the 18 to 20, even the 18 to 29 voted like 90. Like all of our Black folk. You know, it's weird because they don't count Afro Latinos sometimes, so you don't even know really truly how many of us we are out there. We're stronger than 14%. But anyway,
it's much deeper than that, but we ain't gonna get into that
because it's the end of the show.
Eric said fire that crackling up.
Yes. Also, shout out to Eric.
It makes your eyes bleed, though. They told me that's what they told me.
The combination made my eyes bleed. Yeah, shout out to Eric for having kids ass nigga.